I'm going to be making a video response to Vegan Gains who made a video about me no longer being vegan, and I got hundreds and hundreds of messages and DMs and emails about this. I basically made the worst decision of my career.
Humans are carnivores. What's up, everybody? Thank you for checking out my video. So, in my last video addressing Gojiman's tacit admission that we are not herbivores, I made a small mistake. I failed to take my own advice and I gave credit to the plant-based agenda. The agenda that paints animal products as acidic and deadly and plants as alkaline and alive.
Obsession with hens' periods, acid balls of cruelty.
Nonsense. I should have known better. So I did a little bit more research and found information that contradicts this idea that plant foods are more alkaline and animal foods more acidic. It appears that there's little difference in general. Both are generally slightly acidic. Ultimately, I have no desire or means of measuring the pH levels of food, so I can't say I know what the truth is. I do lean more toward what this food canning guide suggests rather than some alkaline diet plant-based guru. Yes, both have an agenda enlisting the pH levels of various foods, but the vegan gurus want you to not eat meat, and the canning gurus simply want you to succeed in canning your food. Draw your own conclusions. Mine seems pretty logical to me. Assuming that plant foods are no more or less alkaline or acidic than animal foods on average, I admit I was wrong. I gave the vegan liars too much credit, my bad. Assuming that I was wrong, does that make my theory of how the vegan diet lowers our stomach pH level, precipitating all kinds of digestive problems, wrong? Nope. Now, some people did argue that that was the case, ignoring the crux of the argument, and that the argument was twofold. Just because one part may have been wrong, and I'm still not 100% sure about that, you can't just ignore the fact that food does lower your stomach acidity. You can't just ignore the entire argument, cherry pick just one part, take it out of context of the argument, and act like the whole thing just falls apart. It doesn't. The argument was that the alkalinity of the vegan food and the amount thereof and the frequency with which it is consumed lowers the vegan stomach acidity for prolonged periods, allowing for pathogen proliferation while also shutting down the production of digestive enzymes. Now, just because animal products are on average as acidic as plant foods, both are still far less acidic than our native stomach pH level. Sometimes as much as 100,000 times less acidic. So when you add a substance that has a pH level of 6.5, like broccoli and beans, for example, to a solution that has a pH of 1.5, our stomach acid, logically you're going to raise the pH level of your stomach. And scientific experiments prove this logical conclusion. So even though the low acidity of animal products is equal to plant foods, and both likely lower stomach acidity equally when introduced in comparable quantity and with comparable frequency, the fact is that the latter part of the equation is not met when it comes to the average plant-based dieter. Vegans eat like cows, or a huge amount of plants all the time. And that is the crux of the problem. In one study, subjects who ate a mixed meal experienced a 1,000-fold decrease in stomach acidity, a decrease that remained above the pH of 3 for about 2 hours. A level that even Gojiman admits will cause us problems if maintained for a long time. A level that's perfectly healthy for some herbivores as their native fasting level, with other herbivores having these levels still tens of thousands of times less acidic. levels that would spell our death if prolonged. Again, people in that study ate a regular mixed plant and animal food meal, while many vegans will start the day with a blender full of sugar. Something like 2 liters or 3 to 5 pounds of goop. How much does that lower the acidity of one's stomach? And because this goop is not nutrient dense or satiating, they are eating again in less than a couple of hours. Just go watch some of these "what a vegan cow eats in a day" videos. Next, they have a light salad or some other trash, usually a huge plate. Before their stomach acid level bounces back to normal, they're shoving more plant trash down the gullet, and lots of it. A couple of hours later, they're at it again. So on and so forth, 4 to 7 times a day on average, obviously keeping their gastric pH levels unnaturally high for unusually long periods of time, just asking for problems. And they're often snacking in between their meals and drinking tons of water, which further dilutes the stomach acid. Basically, vegans are always shoving shit in their mouth because they care about the environment, they say. But it's really because they're always hungry, because their diet is nutritionally poor. And this is the kicker, the nutritionally poor diet. And shut the fuck up if you feel like arguing this point. There is no argument. That's why all these human herbivores take tons of fucking supplements. That's why all these so-called authorities pushing the plant-based diet say, you must. Because it's a shit diet. Anyway, maintaining strong stomach acid and constantly replenishing the stomach mucus barrier that keeps this acid from killing us is very costly. You need nutrients to maintain both. Logically then, a nutritionally poor diet cannot do this very well. Vitamin B or zinc deficiencies, for example, both huge problems for vegans, both contribute to this problem, for starters. Then there's the excess carbohydrate or sugar consumption problem. Yes, at this point, this is mostly theoretical, but no less theoretical than your hormesis or plant antioxidant theories. Anyway, broadly speaking, sugar consumption seems to be another factor associated with high gastric pH. And studies on people with this problem who go on low-carb, high-fat diets have shown marked improvement. In conclusion, the nutrient-deficient, sugar-rich vegan diet comprising of frequent and huge meals wrecks your gut because of all the outlined reasons, and others like excess fiber consumption I won't get into in this video. That's why vegans are always complaining about gut issues on this shit diet, because humans are not herbivores. We are carnivores. A relatively small but very expensive, if you will, stomach with its low native pH is ill-suited for primarily plant consumption. A highly acidic stomach is not only best for protein breakdown, it also kills pathogens often found in not-so-fresh meat. Because our stomachs are tiny in comparison to much smaller herbivores, and our energy needs are very high because of our highly acidic stomach, huge brain, and the fact that we don't lie around all day like a lazy lion, we are logically designed for consuming small amounts of macronutrient-dense, protein and fat-rich food, not huge amounts of worthless foliage, sugary fruit, or indigestible toxic grain. That's why all the ex-vegans feel amazing when they quit their death diet. That's why so many people feel amazing when they go carnivore. Duh! We are not herbivores, and our physiology proves this. Not to mention all the ex-vegans. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.
I basically made the worst decision of my career.
You were not vegan.
The worst decision of my career, and the intention was good, but I basically made the worst decision of my career.